All right, seventh graders, welcome to part 2 of lesson 9.3. We cut off right at the end of this example, so make sure that you are up to date on what we have done for this example here. We are still watching out for our code word. If you haven't heard it yet, please keep listening on. All right, so we figured out our mean. This kind of looks like a 9, but it's a 4, 48.5. And we've also figured out our median, which is 41. The last part then is figure out our mode, which is actually fairly easy. So again, we're just looking for that number that repeats the most time. So if I look back, you could, I mean, the data here is fairly easy to look and realize, okay, it's 20. The work they have here is that they drew another dot plot. And that's where you can tell, there's 2 dots over 20. That would be a little bit more beneficial when you have some really big or really big numbers or even a lot of numbers. And it's really hard to just determine which one it is. So if you were given a ton of numbers, I would suggest doing a dot plot. But right now, I think you can just understand that the most frequent one is 20. So something else that we're going to be talking about is understanding the best representation of this data. Because given the situation of the numbers, if you're going to tell someone about the shoes you bought and all the prices you saw at the store, and they're like, hey, I really like your shoes. Where'd you get them? How much were they? How much are all their other shoes? In this set of data, to be honest with you, I would think it would be best to tell them the median. Okay, it says the median best represents the data. The median is less than most of the data, and the mean is greater than most of the data. So when you look at the average of the mean here, that average, that typically what we say in conversation speech is 48.5. But you can already tell that there's one shoe that's lower than that. This shoe's lower than that. This shoe technically it's 50 cents cheaper. This shoe is, and this shoe is. So that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shoes that are less than that average price. So that's not a very good representation because it's not really showing me the middle range of the prices. So the median though, it would get rid of this one because if I do 41, okay, 45 is too big, 48 would be too big. So then I'm left with 4. 4 is half of 8. So yeah, this would be a good representation, and what I would tell people then is this number, this 41. My mode is not good because that's my smallest price. Okay, yeah, for the most part, you see that that's the most frequent, but you don't know. Okay, maybe there's another wall that you didn't look at and they've got other prices there too. So you can't just tell someone, hey, they're $20, and then they go and they see, oh, but these shoes are really cool. Why did you said they were about $20 and they're $122? So for the most part, your best representation is going to be this 41. Okay. Let's keep a rolling. All right, so here is your next set. I want you to take the time to go ahead and find the mean, median, and mode of these data sets. And then I want you to try and decide which is the best representation. So think about it kind of how like we did with the shoes. What's going to be a good representation of all the numbers that you were given? Is it going to be the mean, the median, or the mode? Okay. So go ahead, pause the video. When you get back, I will have the answers here for us. All right, welcome back. So here are your mean, median, modes for these answers. So I have median just abbreviated here. But your first one, you should have 67.25 for your mean. Your median is 51.5, and there is no mode because nothing had repeated. So the other part then you needed to do was explain your reasoning. So which one is going to be the best measure of center? I did not write out my thinking here because I'm just going to verbally explain it. Let's pick green, will be Christmassy. So in this case, I would also pick the median for this one as my best measure of center. Because if I'm taking a look at my data, this 67.25, there's only two numbers that are above it. This 194 and this 93. In the case that I've got 51.5, then I've got at least a couple other numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that looks like it's going to be a little bit more towards the middle of my data, okay? So my median here. Obviously, there's no mode, so I can't pick it. Problem number 5, then, my mean or my average is $110 or 110. I don't know if they're measuring dollars. I don't know where that came from. Median 99, and my mode is 150. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, most of the time, the best measure of center is not your mode. Because this mode is the top part of this list. So that's not a good measure of center value. It's not center, it's all the way to the top. So then when I look at 110, again, there's only 150, which is above it. So I'm feeling like this 99 might be better because then I'd have three numbers that are above it, this 150, 150, 102, as well as then I'd have 3 numbers below it, 96, 87, and 50, or 75. So then your median. A lot of times your median is going to end up being the best measure of center, but not all the time. Okay. Let's keep going. All right, example 4 then. Oh, we get to identify outliers. I love talking about outliers. I don't know if we've talked about them quite yet. Let me know if we did in the comments below. But identify the outliers in example 3. So we're going to go back and look at example 3 and we're going to talk about those outliers. But let's continue reading this. Find the mean, median, and mode without the outliers. Which measure does the outlier affect the most? So I believe in the first part that we talked about outliers in that first statistical measure thing. So basically your outlier is going to be the number that is almost so far off from everything else. So in this case, we're looking back at this example 3 with the shoes, and we want to know which one's going to be our outlier. So what's going to be so ridiculous compared to all these numbers we got? And I hope you're realizing that the most ridiculous number is this 122 number that I have, okay? It's either can be really big or it can be really small compared to everything. But because I have 2 different 20 values, I would say it's probably not 20. It's going to be this 122. All right, so we identified our outlier. Awesome. And then we're going to find the mean, median, mode without the outlier. So this is a lot what we did before. Yep, we decided that the price of 122 is much greater than any other price, so it is decided to be our outlier. Okay. So then we're going to find all these measures, mean, median, and mode without the outlier. So then I would go back and I'd add up all my shoes. And it's basically like I'm getting rid of this. So instead of having 8 different shoes, I'm only going to have 7 shoes. All right. So with outliers, so these were the numbers we came up with before, 48.5, 41, and 20. When we go back and we take out that outlier and we add them all together, then what happens is that my outlier or my mean changes to 38. My median changes to 37, and my mode still stays the same because it's the most frequent thing I have going on. Oh, I wanted to get rid of this. So it asks which measure does the mean affect the most. So where did you see the biggest difference? And the biggest difference you see is that mean. Okay, so where does the outlier change it? It changes the mean the most. And that's why we usually don't want to pick, or we don't always end up picking the mean of our data set for our best measure of center, because we still have to account for all our outliers. The median does a better job of not having to worry about those outliers quite as much, and just the way you solve it is a little bit of better representation. So a lot of times when you've got outliers, whether they're smaller or bigger, your data is going to be a little bit skewed, is what they say, and that's something that we're getting into next unit, is talking about skewed. So your data gets a little bit skewed, so it means kind of like pushed this way, or pushed that way, pushed up a little bit. Let's keep going though. All right, on your own, I want you to go ahead and solve this problem. So you're going to find the mean, median, and mode given this question with the outlier. Then you're going to figure out what's the outlier and then resolve them without the outlier. So take it out of the equation basically. Okay. When you come back, I will have these filled in. So when you pause this, I suggest making this graph or this table as well to help you keep your stuff organized. So I'll give you a few minutes. Go ahead and do that. When you come on back, I will have the answers for you. So pause the video. I mean, really pause the video. Alrighty, welcome on back. So finding your answers with and without your outlier. So without your with your outlier, your mean is 18, your median is 12.5, and your mode is 10. Your outlier, then identifying your outlier is this 45 minutes because that is a lot larger than what everyone else is traveling. When I get rid of this one, I noticed that the numbers changed a lot. My mean went all the way down to 9. Median, still, it changes sometimes, but not quite as much. And my mode ended up being the same. So which measure does the outlier affect the most? The outlier affects the mean the most. That's what it's affecting. All right. We still got some stuff to do, so we're moving on to the next one. All right, example 5. So example 5 has the prices of 6 video games at an online store are shown in the table. The prices of each game increases by $4.98 when a shipping charge is included. How does this increase affect the mean, median, and the mode? All right, so here is all my different prices of my video game. Hopefully we're looking at the same video game here. So make a new table by adding 4.98 to each price. Then find the mean, median, mode of the both data sets. So what they did is they went ahead and made a new table and they added in this stuff, okay? I'm going through it a little bit fast just because we're getting close to the end of our time. If you are having trouble understanding this, let me know, okay? So they went back and maybe like, okay, 43.42 plus 9.98, what's that going to be? They went ahead and already took this data and figured out your measures. So they find the mean, the median, and the mode. So the original prices, the mean is 35.77, your median is 31.83, and the price that occurs the most is this 53.42. Then they went back and added 4.98 to each single price. All right, and then refound the mean, refound the median, and refound the mode. I know it's a lot of work, but you can do it because you should have learned this before. So what then ends up happening is the price with the new charge, then the mean is going to be $40.75. Median is 36.81 cents, and your mode is 58.4, because remember you're adding that price to the original. So your mode even changes. So once you start comparing that, you want to know which and how does this increase affect the mean, median, and mode? So what's happening between these from here to here, from here to here, from here to here? So they found the difference. Well, I compare it. Well, I took, okay, 40.75 minus 35.77. Oh, you get 4.98, the same price that we had tagged onto it. And you get that for every single measurement. So by increasing each video game price by $4.98 for shipping, then you are going to also increase the mean, the median, and the mode. So companies will take a look at this when maybe they want to change their prices, like we talked about a charge, not a discount, but like a surcharge on their stuff. And so they're bumping up the prices. So that would also change then the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay. Whew, sorry I went through that so fast. Was worried we weren't going to finish with time. We're skipping on your own. Feel free to go back and watch that example if you need more work on it. Use your workbook as extra practice. So your big ideas then is going to be 9.4. Also code word is Memphis. Like Memphis, Tennessee. All right. Oh, sorry, 9.3. We're on 9.3. 9.3. So then that's on big ideas, and that's going to be due here on this next Sunday. So that is on the 3rd of May. Make sure you're getting those things done. Okay. Let me know if you've got any questions coming up. Make sure you know your code word as well. okay? I'll check you on the next video. Sorry again, this one had to be kind of quick. Make sure you're getting your big ideas done the week it's due. Bye!